Sienna was born in 2007 in July, a very perfect, healthy, beautiful little baby girl. Unfortunately, she started developing temperatures.
We had noticed that she was starting to get blackness under her right eye.
I just knew something was wrong, and that's why we kept going back. And they found a tumour that was about the size of a golf ball.
We raced to the children's hospital, and then they told us there was a tumour behind the eye. He had a tumour in his stomach.
She was riddled with tumours. She had 9 in her liver, she had 3 in her face, she had them in her pelvis, she had them in her arms and her legs. She had it everywhere.
The biopsy result came back with really one of the worst results you could ever get, saying it was a very highly aggressive type of neuroblastoma.
I think hearing the word oncology and cancer when it's your little girl is not something that you expect.
You know, at that point, we felt we had failed.
Yeah.
And they took her in and did her stem cell transplant. It nearly killed her.
Because it's such an aggressive disease, you just have to treat it very aggressively. You have to throw everything you can at that disease.
The majority of children present with quite advanced stage disease that has already metastasised or spread around the body. And for these children, cure is quite often very difficult to achieve.
It got to the point the 4th time around though that the cancer was just chewing up the chemotherapy and spitting it out basically, and the cancer just took off and it was winning.
He woke up one morning and he just said, "Mummy, I can't feel my legs."
He had relapsed and started on the high-risk treatment.
We just last week found out that we've got a second recurrence.
She loved painting, she loved Play-Doh, she loved dancing, she loved all the things little girls love to do. Unfortunately, when she just turned 2, we did a routine scan and they said there was a relapse, and we knew at that stage with her type of disease that the chance of her surviving had just plummeted to like less than 1%.
At the moment, we really can't cure kids who don't respond to treatment, or also children who have a relapse after intensive therapy.
It's always there, the fear that it's going to start growing again, or that new tumours will pop up. It's always there.
We're in the hope that this treatment works. It just kills off any remaining cells in his body of the disease. But we're also in the hope that the Cancer Institute keeps doing their research and comes up with something.
Hope is the thing that you clutch onto and hold on to for the rest of that journey until the end.
Probably the worst day of my life when they told us that she was going to die.
They said, she needs to go into palliative care. This is it. It's taken off and we can't do anything for her now but keep her comfortable. So we had to tell Tom. Tom was sitting between us and he looked at Brett and said, "Is she going to die?" And then he looked at me and he said, "Is she going to die?" And I said, "Yeah, mate, she is." This is a 12-year-old boy. Looked directly at the oncologist in the face and he said, "You have to do something. You have to save her. She's my best friend and I can't live without her." No one wants to lose him. The doctors, the nurses, all the staff, the family, friends, no one does.
We're parents, and the day we decided to be parents, we promised to look after him, and that's what we're trying to do.
How can I be losing my daughter? And there's just no way of saving her. And as a mother, your instinct is to save your child, and yet you cannot, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you just have to watch and watch, really, that disease take over a child's body.
It's just a world you don't know, and you really can't realise what it's like until you're all of a sudden in it.
All it takes is for someone to go for a walk on level 2 at the children's hospital.
And you won't walk out the same, trust me. It will break your heart.
They're 3 weeks old, they're 3 years old, they're 13, and they're getting pumped full of chemo while their friends are out playing. No one should have to go through this. Kids especially shouldn't have to go through it. It's terrible.
We don't want to see anybody else have to suffer through what we've suffered through. It's horrible.
Before they get to a cure, they need to get better treatments because it's the side effect of the treatments that can be just as horrendous.
More money is needed to give parents like us hope to try and find a drug, a chemotherapy or an immunotherapy or something else that can cure these kids or at least give them better quality of life while they're alive.
Although we do raise money from federal and state governments, for every dollar that we get from them, we need another dollar from the community to be able to do what we do.
William's got a little cousin who shaved her head and raised nearly $16,000. Things like that get you through.
That's right.
Neuroblastoma Australia wasn't founded by a person who had no connection. It was founded very much by a family and then by other families who had connections. So it means the charity understands other people that are going through this.
Donate for my child, donate for all the kids out there fighting, because without money there is no research and there is no hope and there is no cure.
We don't just want to cure kids with neuroblastoma today, we want to cure kids with neuroblastoma in the future as well.
Because without the research, Arthur wouldn't be here today. And again, children's cancers, because percentage-wise they're not as many, are so grossly underfunded.
They have to really compete for every dollar that they get. They are world-class in the research that they're doing, and we are confident that with their expertise, there will be significant strides in improving survival rates for neuroblastoma.
The big challenge now is getting that last 20% of children cured and doing it in a way with safe and effective therapies. And we can't do that unless we have the research, and we can't do the research unless we have the money to be able to do that research.
She was like this little person that got put in this world, I think, to teach people that, you know, you get one life and you live it and you do everything you can and you don't let illness stop you, because she never did.
She couldn't sit up, she couldn't walk, she couldn't talk. Even then, she still managed to keep a smile on everyone's faces when she was the one going through the treatment.
He's going to be totally changed on his life direction, it's depending on what's happening. Yeah.
I can see Adrian one day being amazing, and I just want him to be happy.
You know, there's nothing more powerful or important, I don't think, than helping kids with cancer.